using open source is really critical to what we do. The fact that we're operating at such an intense scale means that we need to do things to pretty much any piece of software that we're going to use in order to make it operate just a little bit better at scale. So we always need that to be like kind of a two-way street with our upstream software vendor, and open source just makes that a whole lot easier.
Could we describe the logging platform, the OLogs platform, in particular, the sort of ingest pipeline there?
Yeah, so on the ingestion pipeline, it all starts with Fluent Bit. On every Kubernetes host. We will ingest the data from every pod as it comes out of that pod. We'll enrich it with all of the metadata, transform it into the right schema, and then ultimately we'll send it through Envoy to one of our ClickHouse clusters.
When it came to picking the collection component, you mentioned there's Fluent Bit sitting on the Kubernetes hosts themselves. What made you go with Fluent Bit as opposed to other projects?
Yeah, I think Fluent Bit is rock solid. Its design is really ahead of its time for a C application. The way that it uses coroutines, the way that it handles back pressure, it really is a best-in-class product.
What has been working with the Chronosphere team on the Fluent Bit piece of the pipeline being like?
We've built things very fast and taken them to such extreme scale that we haven't always had the best ideal architecture behind them. And so we're almost like doing this system design but with our hands tied behind our back. And so like partnering with the Chronosphere team has been great with that. We had a couple of your people come to the OpenAI office, and we told them what our pipeline was doing, and obviously our pipeline's doing way too much. But we were like spitballing, what are the ways that we could actually take advantage of this? How can we evolve this system? And just having that kind of creativity behind every discussion is been super helpful. Nice. And I think sometimes when you're dealing with cross-organizational stuff, it can be tough to align incentives, right? And so I love that we've been able to just kind of have that conversation, like how could we can we do this in a way that it benefits Fluent Bit users, open source users, and also is relevant to our project? Because if we can do that, and if we align those incentives, then all of a sudden it makes sense for us to really push on this particular thing and do something maybe even a little bit bigger.